at nothing all day. And we've been taking care of business every day. Taking care of business every way. We've been taking care of business. It's all mine. Taking care of business. And I've been working overtime. Work out.
Well, guys, we are late. Very late. As you can see, Molly's not on yet. She was having a soccer game and then had to travel home after the soccer game. So she will join us. She will join us. I promise you that. I don't like doing this show without her because it works so much better when she's here to give her expertise. All right, so a little bit of business to take care of, guys. Smash that subscribe button. If you're already on here watching, you might as well just hit subscribe. Then hit like. Comment throughout the show. Anything you want, any questions, any comment. I had a nice ongoing conversation with Thomas Hahn while waiting to get on here tonight. So maybe he's back. T. Hink has left a couple of comments on here, and so hopefully he's here. So we're gonna have a great show. I will try to go along with this. Molly should be on anytime between now and the next 15 minutes or so. So let's just start. First of all, as you guys know, Iowa beats Wisconsin yesterday, 81-66, and we're basically outscored the first half by them. I think, Wisconsin pretty much outscored us in the first half. We were tied, I believe, at 36 each. Although it was kind of nerve-wracking to see Iowa playing down a little bit to their level. It was nice when they took the break at halftime and they came back and they just took charge of the game. You knew, no matter what, Iowa had a little trouble pulling away, but you knew that you just felt like they were going to win the game no matter what. No matter what. Okay, so, however, gosh darn, guys, we just beat Wisconsin. Guys, in your comments, tell me, what do you think? How hard is it going to be beat Wisconsin again when we have to play them Wednesday night? You know, how often do we have to play teams back to back, within 4 days of each other? And so, Jan Jensen does secure her first 20-win season in her first year. As she said in her show tonight, it is kind of a benchmark, but at the same time, she also said with the new 18-team league that maybe 20 wins is no longer the benchmark because it's going to be tougher and tougher to get there. So with that being said, in your guys' opinion, is a 21 season still the benchmark for everybody? Okay. I know that with the way they do their rankings now, whatever they call that ranking, it's not always necessary to get 20 wins. It used to be if you didn't get 20 wins, you didn't get in, unless, of course, you won your conference. All right. So the women are firmly in the NCAA. Their seeding yet to be determined in there. I know that right now I've seen people have them anywhere from a 6, 7, 8, 9 seed, maybe even a 10 seed, I think. I've seen them. Everybody's got their opinion. Everybody has them anywhere from a 6 to a 10 seed. I think with their ranking, their strength of schedule that they've had, their quad 1 wins that they've had, the close games that they have, should get them at least a 6 or a 7 seed. I would think that would happen. And if they could run the table, guys, and win 5 games in 5 days, does that get them a 4 seed? You think? You think is it possible to get a 4 seed if we can win this, or at least get it to the, final, against probably would be USC. But look at all the teams we'd have had to beat on the way. Michigan State, a 6 seed in this tournament. Ohio State, I believe, is a 3rd or 4th seed in this tournament. And then you would have second seed UCLA in this tournament. You know, in order to get to USC, they got to beat a lot of top seeds. And I would, in my personal opinion, I think I think that they have to win. I would like to see them win at least the first 3 games. I believe they could firmly win. Hey guys, let me do this real quick. I'm gonna bring this thing over real quick, right here. Okay. All right. So yeah. All right. Okay. So I don't know if you guys can read this. This is kind of small. God, it even blocks me. You can't even see me now. All right. Sitting at 6 seed in T Hink's opinion. Cool. I like that. I would love to see them get at least that at worst. Where is USC and UCLA seated? USC is seated number 1 because they've beaten UCLA twice, and UCLA is seated number 2. I believe Ohio State number 3, Maryland number 4. I think that should hold. Yep, on the thing that shows up. So you guys can look on here in Iowa's path. You know, Iowa got to beat Wisconsin. Then Michigan State, seeded number 6, is next. And then Ohio State would be waiting. Now, Ohio State has a double bye, as you guys can see. They have a double bye. And so, as you can see, they're going to sit around for 3 days and watch everybody else play. Okay? And will that hurt them sitting around? Who knows? It affects teams in different ways. Okay? All right. Alex wants to know, when does this tournament start? Alex, it starts Wednesday evening. I think about 3 o'clock in the afternoon Central Time, I think. It'll start with Minnesota versus Washington, Rutgers versus Nebraska, and Wisconsin versus Iowa. Okay, I'm going to take that off of there for right now. Okay. All right. Okay, let's go over some of the key stats. I got them scrolling across the screen there. And so, gosh. Alrighty. I'm watching a lot what's going on here, guys, and I'm looking for Molly at the same time, so I don't see her yet. Okay. All right, so, all right, let's start with this. Okay, Hannah Stolke, arguably her best overall game of the season. 21 points. You're welcome, Alex. Alex, you're welcome. Okay, so 21 points, 4 steals, only 1 turnover, 3 assists, and we had 21 points, 15 total rebounds, 9 of them offensive. And I was looking on, I think it was X today or Instagram. Hannah's mom was taking her own private video and shared it with everybody. Showed how many, I believe Hannah had like 3 boards on one turn, 3 or 4 on one turn. So how crazy is that? Machine. And this is what I love about Hannah: 7 for 7 on free throw shooting. How can you not like that? She has most improved on her. Yeah. AJ are both number 1. Yeah, they'll both be number 1 seeds in the tournament in the big tournament, unless one or both of them get beat and don't make it to the finals of the Big Ten. Guys, you guys realize? I mean, just thinking about that, UCLA and USC could meet for a 3rd time in the Big Ten title game, and because they both would be number 1 seeds, there's a chance they can meet for a 4th time this year. In the national championship game. How crazy is that? Okay, would like Jason's take on the new offensive senior analyst. I will tell Jason that we're in talks about doing a spring football show, and we'll get Jason on to talk about that and everything else, this quarterback situation and everything else that he does, and see what he thinks about the running back coach. We going to get a running back coach, or is our new senior analyst going to be in charge of running backs? Who knows? Yeah. Alec AJ says 7 for 7 free throws, better than my Lakers. Yeah. Well, anybody who watched Hannah her freshman years knew that the first things out of everybody's mouth is she needs to work on free throw shooting. She improved last year, but I think she's a better free throw shooter this year than she was last year. Yeah. Running back coach probably won't be hired until after spring ball. Yeah. I don't know why they wouldn't hire him before spring ball so he can get used to his running backs. Is it fair to the current running backs that we have that they go into spring ball without a running back coach? Anywho, all right, let's continue on with the ladies. Okay. Sydney Falter had 10 points in this game. But she was 4 for 6 for shooting, 2 for 3 for 3 points, 2 for 2. No, she was 0 for 0 on free throws. That was Kylie Fierbach, who was 2 for 2 on free throws, and made 2 of 3 also from the 3-point line. Lucy Olson, 9 for 16, 2 from 4 from 3, 2 for 2 on free throws. Rebounds, she got 3. Now, honestly, guys, the only other person who had more than 3 rebounds in this game besides Hannah was Taylor Strimlow with 4 rebounds. Hannah was just a rebounding machine. Okay. Alrighty. So Lucy had 22 points, but she had 5 turnovers. Guys, overall, this shows that we only had 11 turnovers as a team. But I thought I saw somewhere. Here it says, okay, it shows that we actually had 17 turnovers. One spot shows 11 turnovers, one shows 17. So I am not sure how that works. It must be considered a team turnover if it's not better. And so that's crazy. All right. Addison O'Grady, 5 for 5 shooting. Is there a most improved player on this team? It's got to be Addison O'Grady. When they give out the awards for most improved player, it's got to be Addison. Has to be her. Okay. She also had 10 points. Taylor Strimlow. Let's see. Wait a minute. Here we go. Tegan Mullaney had 1 point. But she was the only one with the negative on the floor. She had a -2 while she was on the floor. Okay. All right. So anyway, it says Wisconsin had 7 turnovers. Iowa had 17. Iowa had 44 points in the paint. Wisconsin had 36. Iowa had 13 second chance points. Second chance points were 10 by Wisconsin. Iowa had 8 fast break points and 20 from the bench, and fast break points were 0 and 9 for Wisconsin. Okay, here it goes. Okay, Wisconsin only won the first quarter, 21-20. Iowa won the second quarter, 16-15. Third quarter, 26-17, and 19-13 for the fourth quarter for the 81-66 thing. Okay. Calvin says, that's okay, guys. I know this is a women's basketball show, but I don't care about the football questions because it is kind of timely, and we haven't done a football show for a while. Doubt they'll wait till after spring ball to hire a running back coach. Will be posted for the required amount of time when Kirk will hire a person of good character. Okay. So there we go. On that one. All right. Where else was I at on this? Okay. Here's one thing I guys, correct me if I'm wrong. For those of you that watch the game, this says that Hannah had no personal fouls called on her during the game, and she forced 7 fouls called, which which is probably why she did so well at the free throw line. But yeah, she drew 7 fouls. That's what I wanted to say. She drew 7, but I can't believe Hannah didn't have any. Hannah did a great job of not fouling. We didn't have anybody in serious foul trouble. Siddle Falter had 3, and Tegan Mulaney had 3. It was nice to see the freshman Aiden Hayden get out there. She had 4 points. Says Dean, you should apply for the running back coach. Use me as your reference. They'll say, AJ who? That's the first thing that's going to come out of their mouth. What's his clout? Oh my gosh, my knees are so bad. I wouldn't be able to do that. Speaking of which, until Molly gets here, we can kind of run this show all over the place tonight. Did you guys see the combine scores? They released the combine scores for all 7 Hawkeyes that were there. The highest person who got scored was Caleb Johnson, the running back. He only got scored a 6 point something, and that 6 point something says that he would eventually be an average starter. So he wouldn't come in right away and make a dent. Excuse me. So anyway, there you go. Known you for a long time. Yes, we've known each other for a long time. So the funny thing is that I think everybody else, I think most of them, it sounds to me like there'd be scout team material. It doesn't sound like, I think at least the bottom 3 or 4 of them would get drafted, in my opinion, because of the way they're rated. So let's see what they do with Pro Day when Pro Day comes to the Hawkeye campus. Let's see if they up their score a little bit so they get drafted. But I would say at this time, the 3 or 4 of them that look like at best are going to be unsigned free agents. At best, I don't see them being now. Guys, look who's coming! Look who's here! Molly, we've been kind of all over the place waiting for you. We've been doing some football stuff too, waiting for you.
Hey, that's okay.
Yeah, how'd you do tonight?
Oh, well, my girls, it was a moral victory because we're playing a team that is like club players, and it was only 4-0 at half, which is good because normally it'd be 10-0 and we'd be going home. And one of my girls that didn't want to play keeper today, she played keeper and she was insane. I think she had like over 50 saves. It was nuts. The officials kept going, where did you get that girl? And I'm like, she's never played keeper before and didn't even want to play. Wow. They're like, she needs to play it forever now. And I said, I know.
Yeah, I'll help you with a good goalkeeper.
So it was crazy. Yeah, so I literally just got in and had to put on the Georgia layers of clothes.
I kind of went over the individual stats and everything from yesterday's game. Any takeaways from that game that you when as you were watching it? You probably didn't even watch it live.
No, and then Stolke stepped up big.
Yeah. She had a huge game. 15 rebounds.
Yeah, I mean that's awesome, especially going into tournament play. I mean, they should be doing that right now against an opponent they're supposed to beat.
Yeah.
So
Calvin's glad you're here.
What's up?
Gosh, we went from having a handful of people watching to 0 all of a sudden.
I'm
Molly, you
sorry.
chased them off.
I did. I scared them away. They said, I'm done. I'm like, we're done talking. We don't want to hear about soccer. Nah.
Yeah.
They must have been
Well,
like, oh, I can't.
the guys are making comments, but it's not showing that they're online, so I'm not sure what that's all about.
Oh, that's strange.
Okay. What about Addie's 5 for 5 shooting? Did that impress you?
Yeah. So great.
When they give out team awards, do you think she's going to get the most improved?
She should. I don't know. I don't know what they give though. Like I don't know what they do anymore. Do they do that stuff now still?
Yeah, they still do it. They just don't make a big deal out of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
like,
there used to be a time where you could buy tickets and go to that banquet, but now I think it's private.
yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, all of them just. I think they're coming together at the right time. I'm so excited about it. I can't wait for the Big Ten tournament to start.
Just for you, I'm going to bring up the brackets because we got a question.
Okay.
You know, because we are the 11th seed, and I'm not sure if you saw the brackets and who's in our bracket and everything yet. Let me get. Wait a minute, I got to go back and get Kelvin off the screen. Yeah. The way he's got it set up is we can't be seen on screen with this, but Iowa plays Wisconsin. First of all, let me ask you this question. How often did you have to turn around and play a team back to back like this within 4 days of each other? Same team.
Ohio State.
Okay.
We've had to do it before. Yeah. I mean, it happens.
Yeah. Okay. My question is how difficult is it to beat a team twice in the same week?
It's the third time that's not the charm. When we met Ohio State in the Final Four for the third time, they finally beat us. Yeah. So the second time's fine. I mean, they're gonna get them again. I mean, poor Wisconsin. I feel bad.
Yeah. Okay. So let's say we beat Wisconsin, which I'm pretty sure we will.
Yes.
We would meet number 6 Michigan State, who has a bye.
And that's a revenge game.
That's a revenge game, which we should have won the first time anyway.
That's a revenge game.
Didn't we give up a 12 or 14 point lead in the fourth quarter and lose that game?
It was horrible. Yes.
Yeah. We ended up having like 20 turnovers that game.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah. And then like 31 the next or something crazy like that. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that.
But now we've kept it in the 15 range, which is where we need to be.
Okay, let's say we get by Michigan State because I'm predicting an Iowa win over Michigan State and Wisconsin.
Yes.
Okay, so now we got a team Ohio State on a double bye. So they would be next.
And a double bye? Jace.
Yeah. They're like number 3.
Yeah, so now we're exhausted and we got to go into Ohio State.
Yeah. Okay. They're resting.
Do they have that in them? I don't know. Because how do they have us playing? I mean, how many days in between, or are we just playing back to back?
Back to back. We start Wednesday. We play Wednesday, then we play Thursday. Then we would play Friday if we win Thursday. Saturday if we win that, and then Sunday for the championship if we win that.
I really hate this. I mean, I think this is okay, yay, we have a Big Ten tournament, right? I just hate it because of what it does to the players and their legs going into the NCAA tournament.
Yeah. Well, I think the beauty of this is, in this case, I'm going to take this off now. But I think the beauty of this women's Big Ten tournament is they've got a full week off before they even do their brackets, the NCAA brackets, where the men go right into it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Big Ten championship game for the men is on Sunday. They find out Sunday afternoon where they're going, and they could be anywhere from Wednesday to Thursday on the road already. At least the women have a week off.
Yeah.
Before they have to start going back on the road.
But man, it's exhausting either way. I mean, because then you're still in the gym practicing, but of course they got time limits on that now, which is good. Because I just remember it's just hours, 4 hours in the gym, every day preparing because you got to get ready for the tournament. Now they got a timer and they can't do that. I mean, but it's and Caitlin was talking about that, how she went from one to the next, all the way to the final four, then bam into the WNBA and just had no stop. There was no stopping. That's a lot. But I mean, I hopefully I think they do like you. I think it's, beat Wisconsin, beat Michigan State, get lucky if we beat Ohio State. I
Yeah.
think so.
I think we can beat Ohio State. I really
do.
believe we can. I'm not sure what to think after that with UCLA waiting, but in the wings. But we almost got them once.
Mhm.
Yeah, but okay. Alex says, "Are the games played in a neutral location? All the
Yes.
Big Ten games for the women will be played at the Cambridge
Yep. Center
Arena, or however they call it, right?
Yep. In Indianapolis, Indiana.
Yeah, yeah. I wish it was back in Minneapolis. Man, we've
Yeah.
had a lot of good luck up in Minneapolis.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
But yeah.
the Hawkeye women have won 3 in a row. They won 1 in Indianapolis and 2 in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
next year it goes to Vegas or something.
That's crazy. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's got to go out west for
hmm
those teams out there, maybe.
Yeah. One thing about Michigan State, their terrific freshmen have improved.
Okay.
Okay.
So of ours.
What seed was Nebraska last year? They made it to the championship game against Iowa.
I remember.
Yeah, they did.
I
They did.
remember. Mhm.
I don't remember what seed they had, but it wasn't super high like Iowa's.
No, they had to come through a lot too to get there. They did.
Yeah, could Iowa be this year's Nebraska?
Maybe.
Come through, yeah. I mean, it wasn't a super high seed.
No.
I mean, I don't. Obviously, it wasn't as low as we had 16 teams last year, right? They were probably 10 or 9 somewhere in there, and had to go through some hoops to win.
It sounds
But Nebraska is a very good team. But everybody this year, the top 4 teams, everybody's having to go through those top 4 teams.
Yep.
I mean, Iowa got one of them.
Yep.
Almost had 2 of them.
That would
imagine. Oh, and when you think about it, we almost had Maryland too.
Yep. It would have been great.
Yeah, we had 14 teams last year, so yeah.
Okay.
So Nebraska probably wasn't that low last year then, and 14 teams.
Yeah, no. I mean, I don't really remember. I just remember them being, there was still a contender, along with Indiana, of course.
Yes.
Because that was a big one. That was the battle. It was between, I think, Iowa and Indiana last year, wasn't it, for Big Ten?
No, the Big Ten came down to Nebraska versus Iowa the third time they met, and Nebraska really was owning us through most of that game, and Iowa found some way to win it in the fourth quarter.
They did. I remember. I was like, seriously? It's giving me another heart attack. Yeah.
All right. So, regular season's over. They finished 20-9, I believe, on the season, right?
Okay, there we go. Didn't we say something? We needed to be that's where we needed to be?
Yeah.
We
were just talking about that.
We'd be happy if we got to 20-9.
Yeah. Yeah. I also said that I would be happy if we got in the 8-9 range, and because of tiebreaker rules, we actually tied for that, but because of tiebreaker rules, we were out of the 4 teams with 10-8 record, we were the last one.
That's it's the way the ball bounces.
OSU and Indiana are competition for regular season title last year.
Okay.
Ohio State just owned everybody last year, but we beat them when we needed to.
Exactly.
We beat them in the last game of the season where we lost Molly Davis.
Yep.
To secure our secure the second seed in the tournament.
Yep.
And then I think Nebraska, actually beat Ohio State to save us the trouble of having to do it again.
Yep.
And I think
Yeah.
that's how we ended up with Nebraska and Iowa.
I think so.
Yeah, but so yes, actually Ohio State and Indiana have always been our competition for the regular season title.
Yeah.
Have we actually won a regular season title in those 3 years that we've took the tournament title? I don't think we did.
Isn't that crazy?
I don't
Which
think we did
I
either.
love that too. I mean, because we'd go in and be, because it's what outright winners are USC right now of the Big Ten
Yes,
championship.
by
Like they're the
virtue of
outright.
beating UCLA twice. Man,
Yeah,
that was
they
a fun
own.
game to watch the other night.
Yeah, it was.
It was.
That was great.
Mhm.
Jeez. And
Watching
to see,
Juju just do her thing.
yeah, and
But
then
then she
see,
missed a couple of free throws. I'm thinking, is the pressure getting to Juju? But
yeah,
you said no.
I said, nah, she's fine. And she had Cheryl Miller and Reggie Miller on the sideline, which was awesome.
Oh, did you see all the stars that were there?
Yeah.
I mean, there's
great.
both athletic and
Mm.
recording and
Yep.
TV stars and stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's
The
great
Battle
to
of
see.
LA.
Yeah, it's great to see that at a women's game. That was usually just what you would see at a men's game, and then it'd be completely silent when the
Yeah.
women's team came out, and it's
Yeah.
amazing to see it switching like that.
Yeah. Well, I think, just having UCLA, because, California is not known for following college sports, and just to have USC and UCLA being the top 3 teams or the 4 or top 4 teams
Yeah,
most of the season, I think,
awesome.
the people in Los Angeles are getting excited about that. They're
Oh, yeah.
excited about Betts on one team and Juju on the other team, and Juju may end up being eventually, when her 4 years are done, she might be breaking some of Caitlin's records.
Oh yeah, she might be.
Which
records are meant to be broken, right?
Yeah, it's just that it took a few years for the other records to be broken, but
Yeah.
But I don't think Caitlin would have a problem with that. I think
Nah.
she wants to. I think she very anxious wants to see the game to grow and.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was
Lisa never won a regular season title. I didn't think so. AJ says Betts couldn't do much. Previous games she had been tearing it up. She didn't do much against Iowa either.
Yeah, it was
actually in the first half we had her in foul trouble.
Yeah, she was in foul trouble, and then she kind of went to town in the fourth along with Kiki Rice.
Yeah, that's on their comeback. Yeah, because they came back.
That's exactly what happened.
Is
and it's because they went to that amazing defense that they finally were listening to us yell at them. Do a 1-3-1 with a falter on the bottom side. Just do it. Telepathically, we were like, do it, and they did it. And we're like, thank God.
Yeah,
but it just wasn't enough. I mean, and there was a lot of things going on in that game that were not so fun. I can't wait for this tournament play though, because I was talking with some people last night about and they're UConn fans, so they're Paige Becker fans, and they're like, Paige Becker is going to be the next da da da, and I said, I'm not so sure. I don't know yet if her game is going to transfer to the WNBA. I don't know. I don't know, because it is.
I don't know either. I mean, I don't
so
either.
difficult and so fast and just. And I'm like, and she's not a needle mover. She's not like, you just don't understand the difference in the quality.
Yeah.
And then you're like, well, Iowa, what has Iowa ever done? I said, well, did UConn beat Iowa last year? And they were like, because you cheated. I said, are you talking about Gabby Marshall? What are you talking about? What?
Yeah, that's what they're talking about.
Yeah, because we didn't cheat. There was no cheating. No, I said, you just mad.
That's one of the few calls the refs got right.
Right. I was like, you just got beat fair and square. And they're like, oh, whatever. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, when it happened to Lucy Olson, was it against UCLA? I can't remember.
It was.
Yeah, against UCLA. They got that wrong on that one. It's almost identical call.
Yeah, I mean, so it does go both ways. I mean, but It's so funny though. The people
All right,
get
I'm just
so
going
crazy.
to show a quick. I'm going to take a quick break. And we'll be
Okay.
Tonight we're on our border, we stick to the band. Chaos and disorder, play them like a violin. I feel the fever rising, what a joy to see your hands. If you got something to say to me, so come on, here I stand. I start to shimmer when it's out of control.
All right, we're back.
The good one.
Yeah, there is a new commercial for the Villains. If you guys haven't figured out, we're part of the Villains Sports Network. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, Brad. We are part of that, but there is a new one out that has our logo on it, but he can't use it yet because he made an error on somebody else's logo.
Mm. Well, darn it, we almost got up there.
he put their name on somebody else's logo.
That's awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Give them their
Anyway.
choice.
Yeah. And so I'm looking at we had numbered Sarah Williams do a lot of damage on against Wisconsin, and a girl named Carter McCray. I can't remember if she was the other one, but she actually played the center when it looked like Sarah, I thought, was playing the center. But
Wow.
But I guess using them together, Jan talked about using those two together, kind of a high-low thing they had going on, and she was talking about a year when Lisa Bluter actually did that with Megan Gustafson.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the name of the other girl. I wrote it down somewhere. Now I'm missing it.
Yeah, the high-low is old school.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's all we played. That's all Vivian played.
Yeah, but Jan was impressed with that, and it sounded like she wouldn't kind of mind doing that with what she's got.
She can. I mean, she can do it with Stolke.
Could we see that with Hannah and Ava Iden next year?
Yes. 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 And yes. Like if they went back to that and then just let the other three just rotate around and it would keep our post players in rebounding position. They'd be in much better rebounding position because it just naturally takes you to the basket.
Yeah. Now we're gonna miss Sydney's. We're gonna miss Sydney's rebounding because she's been on fire.
That girl's like,
yeah. Yeah. All of a sudden, 10 games ago, Lucy and Sydney caught fire, and they haven't looked back since.
Keep it up.
And they've been 8-2 over those two games, and those two losses were to UCLA and Ohio State, both teams that we had leads in.
Yeah. I mean, just keep it up because we're going into the tournament, and they just need to keep doing it. I mean, they just want to. This is now. It's time to see how long do you want to play, how long you want to keep playing with your friends, and how long you want to keep being a Hawkeye, because that's what it's about now.
We've got 5 seniors on the team who want to prolong their season.
Thank you.
So it's no longer if you lose, you still have another game. It's you lose, your season's over.
No, you're done. Like you're
done.
You don't want to go on spring break early. You don't. No.
You don't want to watch the tournament at home. You want to be a part of the tournament.
You want to be a part of it because you haven't made plans and you don't want to be sitting in the dorm in Iowa City, bored as all get out. You want to be playing somewhere. Happened to us one time and I absolutely hated it.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so horrible.
I saw a bracket for the NCAA where we'd be playing TCU again. Okay.
I love it.
And you know who plays for there.
Yep.
And we've eliminated her team 2 times already from the tournament. Could we do it a third time?
Yes, we could. Yes, we will.
I'm anxious to see what we can do. Now, we kind of brought this up while you were gone and see what you think. Let's say we make it. Let's say we win the first 3 games, but we don't beat UCLA. We probably get a 6 or 7 seed in the tournament.
Yeah.
Because we would have whipped off some pretty good wins there.
Yeah.
All right, let's say we beat UCLA and make it to the finals against USC, but maybe we don't win. Do we get a 4th seed?
I don't think so.
You don't think that's possible?
I don't think so. I think they're still going to keep Iowa lower just because.
Okay. All right.
Because they have.
I just really wanted us to get a 4th seed
well,
so we could play at home.
How high are we ranked right now?
We're not even ranked.
See? Yeah, so we're not even ranked.
I believe we're, according to the announcers, we're in the others getting votes now. We're getting votes again.
Oh, okay. Because I'm watching all these other teams that are ranked 24th and 23rd, and we're not even in the top 25. It just is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It is. When you're that close, you beat USC, and then you're that close to beating UCLA. Granted, you didn't, but still. Little higher, but I mean, I don't think it's going to matter. And it may be better to just be seated a little bit lower.
Yeah, let's go ahead and read some of these comments. I actually had them hidden and didn't know we had some more comments. Let me read them. Okay, AJ says USC was very aggressive on defense. That's why they were in foul trouble, but it worked. Kelvin says Juju definitely translates. AJ says, Molly, what's your opinion on Haley Van Lith? And we just mentioned her, but I forgot to mention her by name. But what do you think about her?
Well, Haley Van Lith should have never went to LSU. I think that was one of the worst moves she could have ever went, because I think Kim Mulkey just I don't think she did her well. She didn't fit into that team, and I think it almost took a year away from her because she was trying to make her something she wasn't.
Right.
I haven't watched her with TCU, but I do hear she's putting the numbers back up like she was when she was at Louisville. She literally should have just stayed put at Louisville because she was playing great there. I really like that loyalty thing. She should have just stayed, but she was chasing the deals, trying to chase the championship, right?
But I do remember when she first went in the portal from Louisville, how many of the Iowa fans wanted her to play alongside Caitlin.
She would have been much better at Iowa. She would have been at least like they would have fostered her, her as a player. I mean, I think at TCU now her numbers are up, and now I think she's playing in her true position, right? I think Mulkey was trying to make Kim Mulkey was trying to make her a point guard when she's really not a point guard.
Yeah, my understanding is the players on that team, and you know who some of them were at the time, said your only job is to give us the ball and let us score.
Yeah, it was awful. I mean, the way Reese would treat her, I mean, you could just see it on the court. It was awful. Her face, I mean, she didn't look happy. And then, oh my God, when they made her guard Caitlin, I was like, oh, poor baby.
Caitlin just took advantage of her.
Oh,
really
that poor
bad.
girl. I was like, well, she took advantage of that entire LSU team.
Yeah.
I don't think
Weren't
there
they
was
on a youth All-American team together.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't think LSU had a player that Caitlin did not shoot a 3 on. Like, I was loving it. It's so great.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thomas Hahn says Iowa was a co-regular season champions in 1820. But COVID prevented Iowa from getting to the tournament championship in 2020.
What do you mean, for Big Ten?
Yeah. Megan Gustafson was.
I thought we
that was her last year, 2020, wasn't it?
I thought we won it outright back in the 90s for sure.
Well, I don't think he's going back that far.
Yeah, because we have three. We have 3 rings, and then I think we tied with Ohio State one time. We were
I believe you.
Yeah,
Vivian had some pretty solid teams. I'm sure.
Oh yeah,
we won some outright titles.
Yeah, we had 1 ring, and then we had to keep putting diamonds in it because we kept winning the Big Ten championship. So every championship, we just put an extra diamond in.
Yeah, Calvin was saying he was talking about outright championships. That's to Thomas Hahn. He said true. Okay, AJ again. Absolutely agree with LSU. Didn't care for the way the coach handled her.
I hated it.
I don't know if it was so much the coaches. It was the players.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
I don't think the players wanted her around.
It wasn't. You could just tell it wasn't a very comfortable situation for her.
You could see it when they played. Yeah, you could.
I mean, it's blatantly obvious what was going on. And her face, I mean, you could just tell by her face. She was just like, this is not good. And you feel for players when that happens.
Yeah. So Thomas Hahn again says it's Iowa versus the world. It's always been that way and always will
Yeah.
be when it comes to seeding.
Especially and with the officials as well. It always was what, 7 on or sometimes 8 on 5.
Yeah.
Depending on how many
Also,
officials we have on.
when it comes to seeding, last year we finally get a number 1 seed. We're the second overall team in the tournament.
And then they put us in that
They
bracket.
put us in the toughest bracket, which should have gone to the 4th seed.
The worst bracket ever. I'm like, really?
And I think, didn't they put South Carolina in probably the easiest bracket?
Yeah.
Yeah. What were they thinking? Was it the news media saying, we want to see more of Iowa playing these teams. We think they can win them. So put them in this bracket because these are the teams we want to mark. We want to marquee.
I don't know, because I just look at it sometimes and I'm like, don't you want the best final games? Like, don't you want the best teams in the Final Four? Like, and you are going to have upsets. You're going to have some Cinderella teams, but
I think out of the top 4 teams, I think only Iowa and South Carolina made it to the Final Four. USC was beaten, and I think somebody else was too.
UCLA.
Was it UCLA was the other number 1?
I think we did talk about that before, but I know they were beat. We got beat too, and I was like,
I think somebody. I was thinking UCLA was in our bracket, but they got beat before we got to them.
Yeah,
I think we got LSU. That's what it was. We got LSU.
Yes, LSU beat UCLA, and then we beat LSU.
Yeah. I was really looking forward to that UCLA game too.
It was so nerve-wracking. I remember. I'm like, this is just, oh my god. I think I was doing push-ups and squats at the same time. I just couldn't take it. I was like, come on.
Yeah.
And this is when I worked. I worked with a.
If Caitlin Class, who didn't walk over and do this to Reese after the game.
Right. Or ring, ring, ring. Yeah. It was, yeah.
Okay, just gonna say it. Say it, Alex. Say it. What you're gonna say?
Just say it.
Just say it.
Just say it.
That's just like That's like announcing that you're. It's like announcing that you're gonna leave. You're gonna leave something.
I'm gonna let you know. This is it.
USC, UCLA for a national championship. I did mention that they could meet 2 more times for the Big Ten title and for the national championship. That would be 4 times this year.
It would be as long
TV
as
ratings would go nuts for that.
It would, and but Kiki has got to show up more than just the 4th quarter.
Mm-hmm.
She does.
That LSU game didn't matter who they put on Caitlin Clark. She schooled everybody they threw at her. Caitlin wasn't going to lose that game, and honestly, we were in the championship game for a while. Against South Carolina, we just couldn't hold it after a while.
It was like they were up by a ton in the beginning, remember? And the crazy part was that time I worked for my principal's South Carolina fan, and she was sending me text messages going, "What is going on?" She's like, "I can't." She goes, "I'm not coming to school tomorrow."
There you go.
I said, "I'm still going to come to school even if we lose. I don't care."
Yeah. Speaking of doing stuff, my wife leaves for Oklahoma on Saturday morning, about 3:30 in the morning, and she comes back about 9 or 10 o'clock at night. 2 weeks later on a Saturday, and said, "We ain't going to church the next day. We're going to stay in bed."
What did
kind of similar thing. All right, guys, I'm going to take another quick break, and then we'll wrap things up.
All right.
All right, we're back. I was just
Makes me
looking
wanna
at
get a
this.
tattoo.
Chad Lysico, a half an
Mhm,
hour ago,
mhm.
independently confirmed that Iowa's hiring Warren Ruggiero, former Wake Forest OC, as an offensive analyst at Iowa. Um, Chad, you're a little late. That news broke about an hour ago or so, or even longer ago than that, actually. Calvin will have a heyday with that because he always says something about him getting a little late on his news.
Mhm.
Okay, currently UCLA and men are in a dogfight with Northwestern.
Oh, nice.
Everybody's been in a dogfight with Northwestern lately. They
Yeah.
figured out that they don't have any offense, so they figured out that if you're going to win the Big Ten or make some noise in the Big Ten, you got to play defense. And they're
Yeah.
playing defense so hard, they schooled Iowa on how to play defense
They
the
got
the other
nothing to
night.
lose, do they?
No, they've got nothing to lose. I mean, I think
Absolutely
they
nothing.
played themselves out of the bottom three. Um, we'll see. The Iowa men have played themselves into the bottom three, which means their season's
Jeez.
all but over after they play the
Oh
next
my
two
god.
games because
I hate
they're
that.
not favored in their next two games.
Jeez.
So the men will be at home against Michigan State Wednesday night, and then on Saturday or something or
Ugh.
Sunday they play at Nebraska, which
That's
they
cool.
won't be favored in that game.
No.
And so, honestly, it's going to be sad. The women, at least we'll have the women to cheer for,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
hopefully they make enough noise that we can keep cheering for them for a while. Because to
I
be
hope so
totally
too.
honest, without the men in the tournament this year, it's just going to be sad.
Yeah, it is, but I'm glad that I'm glad the girls are. I'm glad they pulled it around. I mean, we for a while
We
there we
didn't
were
think, yeah,
thinking we're not doing nothing. We were just like, we're
yeah.
done.
Weren't they like 2-7 in the Big Ten at one point?
Yeah, we're like, I don't even think we'll get into an NIT tournament, like,
Yeah,
or the
I
NI
remember
whatever it
we
is.
talked about they dug a hole so big for themselves.
Yeah,
And then they rattled off about 5 straight wins before they lost one.
I know. We're like,
5
okay,
or 6 wins before they lost another one. And then
okay,
it was
we're
those 2
coming.
games.
Yeah,
It was those 2 games that they
I
lost. Those
know.
last right at the end of the season here, but
Oh,
they proved to me that they're definitely ready with the win against Michigan.
yeah.
They showed the resilience against Wisconsin. Just let me ask you: is it kind of hard to get yourself mentally ready when you face a team like Wisconsin,
Yeah,
or
you
does
can
it
overlook
depend on
them.
the coach?
You could, yeah, yeah. But yeah, and I mean, as a coach, you got to let them know, hey, we can't overlook this team because if we do, they're going to beat us because
Mhm,
everybody's coming in to beat Iowa, and you cannot overlook anyone. We know that, right? But
mhm.
again, if you're playing, you cannot play down, and sometimes it's so hard. Like you've got to still play your game and keep it at that next level, no matter how low the competition is.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
it concerns me, and that like it seemed like we played down to Wisconsin's level, but we
yeah.
played Michigan's level, we played at Ohio
Uh,
State's level, we played
yep,
at UCLA's level, we
we
played
did.
at USC's level. So I
Yep.
mean, we've had some nice wins and some very close losses against some
Yeah.
really good teams, and
Yes.
then you think with Wisconsin, we're just
Yeah.
gonna roll them. But Iowa really hasn't rolled anybody this
No,
year.
we have not, because we will not put our foot down on them. We don't keep them down on the ground. We kind of let them up, and it's not
Yeah,
not fun when that happens.
yeah,
Because you see it every time. You're like, oh, here we go again.
yeah.
With these 11-0 runs that the other teams are making on us. Yeah, they've got to figure out a way to buckle down in the tournament because
Okay.
everybody's
That being
coming.
said,
Everybody's coming to win and to not lose and to continue their season and
right. And the nice thing about Iowa and Wisconsin, they don't have to do a true scouting report against each
nope.
other. They already have it.
Yep, they know. They know what's
They know
up.
what to do. You know. All right. I think Molly. I think you're looking a little tired. You had a long day, and
I did.
I think this is going to be a good place to end it right now.
The cold weather gets you, I'm telling you.
Yeah. we'll try to put something together after Iowa
Yeah.
makes a little run in the brackets and see what
Yeah.
they do in NCAA. Okay, so but we won't even find out for a whole week yet.
Yeah, I
Okay.
hate it. That
Okay.
waiting.
We could have
But
more wins this year and also more losses.
tomorrow I get to buy my WNBA tickets.
Cool. Is that when
Yep. So I'm getting my
you're
dream
going to?
tickets.
Huh?
I'm getting the dream tickets so that I can see
Yeah.
the Fever play.
Yeah, there you go. How about coming back to Iowa City on May 4th and
Yeah, I get that
you got
$44,000. I get
$44,000 for a good
that.
seat?
I'm gonna get that $44,000 seat down there. Maybe I just make a phone call. You never know. I could just get a free ticket. You don't know until you try.
Yeah. Alex wants to know if you're getting season tickets. I believe you are, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna get a partial. It's partial tickets, so I'll get like 6 tickets, and I
yeah.
get to choose, and 2 of them will be against the Fever, and then the others I'll just pick, like maybe New York, or I'll pick the Aces, or I'll pick the Valkyries, which is where Kate Martin's going.
Oh, okay, good. You get to pick them. All right.
Mhm.
Kelvin says we could have more wins this year and also more losses. I'm not sure what he's referring to. We had 30 wins last year, so how do we get 30 wins? I guess if we made a run, we could get there. I guess, yeah.
Yeah, we can
5
hit
games
10.
in the
He's
5
right.
games and 6 games, yeah, to give us 31 wins.
See, he knows math. He's got his math down.
Yeah,
Calvin
we ran
knows.
all the way to the national title game undefeated. We could go on
Calvin knows what's
We
up.
could go on 11-game winning streak.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, it'd be 13 if you include our last 2 regular season games.
Yeah, that'd be great for Jan.
Yeah, close games. Close games abound.
Yes.
Get me some models. I'm not sure what he means, but Alex means by that.
I don't know.
All right, guys, we got to let Molly go because Molly's looking tired there, and I appreciate you coming on, Molly, even with the
Yeah, no
lateness
problem.
of the show tonight. I
Hey.
don't know if everybody knows, but she's on the East Coast, so it's really late over there.
Yeah, no, I don't know about what's. It's not that late. 10:40.
God, I'm in bed here by 9 o'clock.
I know. I wish not with all these sports I'm doing,
Yeah.
but it's all good.
Oh, AJ picked up 7 Caitlin Clark cards today.
Good job, man. Where'd you get
Yeah.
those?
He is a card dealer.
That's awesome. So he
Yeah,
opened up some. He opened up
buys
boxes.
and sells at card shows.
Okay, so he
Yeah.
opened up some boxes and picked up some cards, or
Yeah, I'm not sure how I got him.
maybe.
He knows where to get them, but he took me last week when he took me to LA for my new eyeball.
Yeah,
He took me to Burbank Cards, which
nice.
honestly will be, if it's not already, the biggest card shop that is around. They're moving it into an old Rite Aid building for the card shop.
Oh wow.
Yeah, met the owner. Alex introduced me to the owner. I met the owner's daughter, and they're really passionate about what they do there. And I picked up a BJ Armstrong autograph card
Oh,
for only
that's so cool.
for $8.
Shut up.
And if I
That's
hadn't paid for it first, Alex was going to.
That's so great. Because I know at Shields in Iowa City,
Mm-hmm.
they have her cards all over the place, and they got them, in the case, and they've got them just set up. And
I did not know that. Yeah.
Yes, they have big dealers of cards there at Shields. I had no idea. I was like, "What is this? This is great."
I haven't counted, but I've got my wife for Christmas this year bought me all kinds of Caitlin Clark cards.
That's great.
And there's some rookie fever in there. There's all kinds of cards from her high school days, her
Yeah.
little kid days, her college days in that
That's cool.
collection.
I got
there's
one.
a lot in there.
I've got one.
What's that?
I've only got one. I just bought one. I don't know. I think I bought it.
I need to send my card to you so you can autograph it for me.
Yeah, you do.
The one I got of you.
So funny.
Yeah. Okay. Atlanta has a huge shop by the baseball stadium. There you go. If you ever buy the baseball stadium, stop by the card shop. Do you know what he's talking about?
So the new baseball stadium or the old baseball stadium, which is Georgia Tech now, or the new one they built,
called HQ Cards.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Yeah. New stadium. So new baseball stadium. So that would be for the Georgia Tech team, you said?
No, well they moved the Brave Stadium out towards Marietta. He said the
Oh,
new.
did they?
Yeah,
What is
it's
it
pretty
with
cool over
everybody
there.
building new stadiums, man? Can't we be dissatisfied with the one you got?
You think so? The Brave Stadium was beautiful. I loved it. Thought it was
Yeah.
great. Now
Hats
it's
off to
Georgia
the Cubs
Tech's.
for being about the only team that's been in the same stadium for their whole career.
Yeah, it's awesome. Awesome. Anyway.
All right, guys, we got to get out of here.
Yeah.
We're starting to
That was
run
fun.
over, and I just want to thank you, everybody.
Yes.
Everybody. Alex wants you to know that he believes it's new.
Okay. Thank you.
All righty. See you, everybody. Thank you. Don't forget
Bye, y'all.
hit that like button, hit the sub button, share it with your friends. Leave some comments on this show if you're watching it on the replay. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
I will never be free now.